Hi guys, so this is still section 2.2. In the last video we talked about slope. Today we're talking about one very important use of slope, which is a slope-intercept form of the equation of a line. You can talk about the slope between any 2 points, but when we have a function that is a linear function or a line, the slope is the same everywhere on that line, and it's a very important characteristic of a given line. You know, what is its slope? And the slope-intercept form is very useful form for seeing it and using it. So let's take a look. And there we have it, the slope-intercept form of a line. When a linear equation is written in this form, you can see the slope just from the equation itself. And this is a linear equation, y equals mx plus b. If we put in any value for x, we will then be able to calculate a y, and that will be an ordered pair, xy. And we put in a different value of x, we'll get a different y, and so on. We can generate a lot of ordered pairs, and when we plot those, they will form a line. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, m is the slope, and you see it's simply whatever is multiplied by x, and then if you have plus something, then in this case we have a b as that variable. That is the y-intercept. M is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So let's just take a look at some examples so we're sure we understand what this means. Example A, write the equation of a line with a slope of -2 and a y-intercept of -4. And by the way, y-intercept, make sure you remember what that means. That's simply where the line crosses the y-axis. Okay, that's all that is. That's the point where the line crosses the y-axis. Okay, so if the line has a slope of -2 and a y-intercept of -4, write the equation of that line. And so we are going to use this slope-intercept form to do that. And take a look, and there it is. Y equals -2x minus 4, because the slope is -2. So we just put in that -2 in the spot for the slope, which is right there multiplied by x. And we're told the y-intercept is -4, so we put in a -4 for the y-intercept, which is the b. So that's it. So if you're given the slope and y-intercept, you can write the equation of the line easily in that manner. Okay, so let's look at the next one. This time we want to graph the line, and we're given the equation. And what allows us to do this in a straightforward manner is that this equation is in slope-intercept form. Right, there it is. We have y equals something x plus something. That's slope-intercept form, mx plus b. The slope is the thing multiplied by x, in this case -1/2. The intercept is the thing added on, in this case 3. Okay, so how are we going to use that to draw a line? Well, first plot your intercept on the x-axis. So that just showed up over here, the point, right? I'm sorry, on the y-axis. Plot your intercept on the y-axis. So there it is, and you do that by going to +3 on the y-axis. That's what we did. 1, 2, 3, and there's the point. Why do we use 3? Because that's the y-intercept. Okay, the y-intercept is 3, so we plot it there at the point 0, 3. 0 on the x-axis, not going any direction at all. 3 on the y-axis, and that's it. Okay, so that's the first step. Okay, now we're going to use the slope, and here's how we do that. Step 2, use the slope to move from the y-intercept to the next point. Okay, we have one point. All we need to do is use that slope to move to one more point. So we look at the slope. We know that it is negative 1/2. How do we know that? Because there it is in that spot in the equation. Y equals negative mx plus b. Let's see, let's scroll back up and take a look at, there it is. Y equals mx plus b and so that spot for the m right by x, that's where the slope is, in this case negative 1/2. Okay, so that's the slope, and we're going to use that, but we have to put the negative sign with the numerator or the denominator. It doesn't matter which. Okay, so in this case I put it with the numerator, and then I know that the slope is the rise over the run. So negative 1/2 is the rise over the run. Okay, negative 1/2 specifically, because we decided to put the negative sign with the numerator, that is with the 1. So negative 1 is the rise, okay, and 2 is the run. Again, negative 1/2 is the rise over the run, so negative 1 is the rise, 2 is the run. And all we do then is go, starting at that point, we're going to go negative 1 in the vertical direction, that is, go down 1 because it's negative. Okay, vertical means up and down, but do you go up or do you go down? Well, it's negative 1. So that you go negative direction, which is down. Okay, and so let's see what that looks like. So there it is. We have a little blue arrow here showing that we're going down from the point we started at, which is the y-intercept. Okay, so that's how we used our negative 1. That is the rise, go down by 1. Now we're going to use the run. We're going to go over 2. That is plus 2 in the horizontal direction, and that's to the right because it's positive. Okay, the positive direction along the x-axis, that is horizontally, positive is to the right, and 2 is a positive number, so we're going to go that far to the right. So let's take a look at that. And there it is. There's our arrow going to the right that far. So we went down 1 because negative 1 is down, and that's the rise. We went over 2 because the 2 is positive, and that's the run. And then we have our second point. It goes right there. Okay, so we're going to plot that next point. And there it is. So the only thing left is then to draw the line. We used our slope to find the next point. And next step is, there's our point, okay, right there. And now we'll draw the line. And there's the line. So we plotted our 2 points, one being the very easy one, the y-intercept. The other one we plot by using the slope, rise and run, and plot it. Then we draw the line connecting them, and we have it. Okay, so we want to look at one more thing. I think I might write on this as well, our step 2 and step 3, because we just to document or to show step 2 was where we did that, and we plotted our point, right? And then step 3, to show as well, was actually drawing the line. Okay, So that's it. And so the last thing I want to look at, though, is just a note about slopes. Okay, and that is, note that our slope was negative. Okay, so our line should go downhill. Okay, there's our slope, negative 1 over 2, negative a half. When the slope is negative, the line goes downhill. If our slope was positive, it would go uphill. Okay, so there's the cases. In this little picture, you have a positive slope, it's uphill. A negative slope, it's downhill. Zero slope looks like this. Zero slope because there is no rise. The rise is zero. It's not going up or down at all. It's flat. And undefined slope is straight up. Kind of makes sense if you were riding a bike on flat ground. You would say, yeah, there was zero slope. But if you're climbing up a face of a rock straight up, and someone says, well, what was the slope? You're going to say, slope, I was going straight up. Slope doesn't really mean anything if you're climbing straight up a rock. So slope is undefined. Okay, for when it's straight up. So that's it for this one. Hopefully that will help you do the homework, and hopefully it'll be a little bit better than the last video.